What's going on, Kuya P? Kuya P and the kid. I'm
Yeah.
not Kuya P. I'm the kid, and this is Kuya P. How you doing, man?
I feel like I'm the kid sometimes, but okay.
I think the
We
fact
can-
is it's such a
yeah.
great fitting. The name is so fitting because it depends on the conversation.
Yeah.
He is I and I am him, and then
Sure.
Slim with the flat brim.
What's my
don't know.
motherfucking name?
exactly, man. We missed last week.
Yeah.
Did we miss a week before? Like, I feel like it's been a while since we chatted.
Actually, no. Did we? Maybe no. If not last week, then the week before, because we did we talked about Rust, and
Yeah, that's right.
Alec Baldwin.
Yep.
The guy that is not Asian but is getting all the food at the theme park.
Oh yeah.
We had a nice little conversation, brother.
And I was thinking about it. Because I was somewhere, I can't remember where it was, but then this guy was super excited that there was like a new item on the menu, and it was like so trivial. Where he was like, I was sitting in line at a fast food joint, and he goes, "Oh, that's new," and he was like pretty pumped about it, and I was like, and then I thought about the Six Flags story where the guy just eating there all the time. I was like, how often do you eat here? Where you're so excited about like fries with cheese is the new menu or something? So. I can only imagine after about 3 weeks of eating the same menu, you're like, I'm pumped. They got sweet potato, yeah. Like, let's do that.
Right? Crazy.
What's new in your world, man? What's new with you?
It's a surreal birthday week, dude. It's my birthday week, bro. Crazy. I don't know. I feel weird. I don't know. Not off.
You're just getting old, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I just had my birthday. I think that's one of the weeks that we missed because I was gone for my birthday.
Yeah.
What do you got planned?
Nothing. Actually, I took the day off. I'm gonna be chilling tomorrow. As of this recording, my birthday's Tuesday, the November 9th. I took the day off because why work on your birthday, you know?
Exactly.
And basically plan to actually watch a couple screeners because I've got interviews during the rest of the week.
Working
and actually,
on your day.
I booked an interview tomorrow on my birthday.
Look at this. The hardest working man on the internet. Even on his days off, he's working. On his birthday, he's working.
Yeah. So the interview I booked tomorrow on my birthday is Tiffany Smith. She plays one of the voices on Masters of the Universe Revelation that's on Netflix right now. So my morning plans tomorrow morning are to watch the part 2, the last 5 episodes, and then have the interview in the afternoon and talk with Tiffany. I told my family I'm good because it's the week. My daughter has ballet. You know, she has school during the day and then she has ballet in the evening. I don't see my family till generally 9:00 on Tuesdays during the week. So I won't see them till later in the evening. So I'm gonna be chilling, binging Netflix. Like I said, watching Masters of the Universe. Probably, I think I have another screener to watch, do that interview, but kind of just chilling for the most part, which I'm happy with because generally, as you know, I'm busting ass, doing all kind of shit. I'll be just chilling, watching movies tomorrow.
You're gonna sit down and watch 5 episodes?
Yes, of Masters of the Universe.
Are they half hours or like 22 minutes ish?
45 minutes, I think. 30 to 45. Yeah.
You are a motivated savage. Just was it
like
hour and a half?
So it's something that I enjoy as a kid. So unlike where it's kind of a work for stuff that I'm not a fan of, and you know, I do it because of this stuff. With Masters, it's something I'll enjoy. I hear what you're saying, but it's different. You know, it hits different when it's something you enjoy.
I'm just at that stage in my life. Maybe it's I'm drinking too much coffee, which is always a possibility, but I only can sit down for long periods of time because I'm talking with you. Like we just recorded NRW. And then before that, I recorded I'm Gonna Get in Trouble podcast with Eddie Lyles. Terrence was out, but you know, it's a long stretch of time, but I can't do it every day. And I'm definitely not doing it for fun. That's for sure.
I feel that. Yeah. So
What are your thoughts on the new He-Man?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
sorry,
dope
Master.
it's dope as fuck. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
Okay.
We all know the corny, very gay original 80s Masters of the Universe storyline. So this revelation that they had a part one on an initial 5 episodes. It's Kevin Smith.
Mhm.
Kevin Smith basically is continuing on the 80s series that we loved. And he wrote these 5 episodes that came out earlier this year. And now the final 5 episodes is dropping, I think, this week or next week.
And people are losing their minds, right? Like not in a good way.
Not in a good way initially. Well, at least that was the perception when the first 5 episodes dropped, because he really didn't kind of feature He-Man to a degree. And if you watch it, you know, yeah, that's what the story direction he went. He's trying to beef up some of the other characters, but if you're a real fan of this material, he brought in so many existing characters that were really didn't get a lot of light and just seen in this way. You can see the love for the actual content if you're a real fan of this material. The artwork, the design, the way it's true fan shit. You know what I'm saying? Not fake fan shit. You know, I thought it was outstanding. And now we're getting the second half of this series that, you know, again, continues on the story that we know from the original series, but beefing up and giving you some unresolved issues and figuring out these characters a lot that were never there before. I think if you are a true fan of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, you're getting it, man. And it's really well done.
I was a huge fan of it as a kid. I mean, when it came out, I was like 5 or something, right? And or younger. So obviously this was the toys to have and the cartoons to watch.
Yeah.
And then I watched as an adult, like from the first episode, and go, oh, none of this makes sense. Like, and then you watch documentaries like Toys That Made Us.
Yeah. I like that series.
Yeah. And it comes down to like, yeah, it was just a marketing plan. They're just out there trying to sell toys. Like they didn't have a clue. And it makes so much sense because you watch the first episode and you're like, oh, you guys aren't going to explain anything. We're just going to assume that guy looks horrible, so he's the bad guy. And this guy looks white. So he must be the hero. And you just go off of those premises.
So you saw the Revelation stuff?
I haven't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Revelation, it kind of has you, it is, if you saw the original, even you didn't have to see all of it, but if you are aware of that existing material, it kind of goes in with you having that a little bit of pre-existing knowledge.
Gotcha.
But and then if you're a true fan that did watch all that stuff and always wanted more, it gives you that payoff of finally giving you stuff that, you know, you never got payoff on.
And I think that they, you know, just to flesh out all those characters, once you get outside of like Prince Adam, Duncan, what's his daughter, you know, there's like 5 main characters, and then everything else.
Man-at-Arms.
Yep.
The Sorceress, Evelyn, you know, Skeletor.
But
you know, everybody.
Anything after that, all the characters are flat. Oh, what do? You jump. What's your motivation? To jump. You're like, okay, that's
it gives you a little bit more. And
and
it's akin to the toys. And if you remember the toys, it gave you like a mini comic. And then it also kind of gave you like that cool explanation about the character, like Stinkor. Cool looking visuals, cool design, but I don't think they ever used Stinkor in the original cartoon series. And so they made an effort to put Stinkor and give him a good little sequence in this new Revelation. Because I think it was in the Toys That Made Us that I think that, or something that reminded me, they didn't use Stinkor in the cartoon. And so when they brought it in the Revelation, it was like, oh fuck yeah, they gave us that finally.
I remember it stinking up my house. I had Stinkor.
Yes, apparently, and I didn't realize it. And I think it was in that Toys That Made Us or stuff. It was apparently like the stinkiest toy ever made.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was that, and also there was like something that was green, moss trees, Moss Man, and that also stank up my house. And I think that was probably the last ones my parents ever bought me because they were like, we can't have this.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious, like, why did it not stink? Like, how did we not know that these things stunk so bad in the packaging? Like, the packages weren't airtight. They were just in plastic with a cardboard box. Like, we should have been able to smell this at KB Toy Store.
Yeah, man. I don't know, but I miss that stuff, though, dude. There's just something very nostalgic when I see that stuff, man. I love it.
I saw that you bought Skeletor.
I did.
A retro. Was it?
Actually,
That's
it's
a
funny.
retro
I
release.
have the because I opened it up to put it on my desk. But yeah.
Now we can't sell it in 10 years. Thanks.
This guy. I bought it on sale, as you saw. I left the sticker on there specifically for you, Loy. $6.
Yeah,
I was like, I'll buy that for $6 for my desk.
We'll be able to make $37 off of it. Like that was what I was thinking. That someone will buy this.
It came with the mini comics too, man. Like I got to check this out. I haven't opened it up yet.
That looks like didn't they just so before this series, didn't they have another series that looked more like anime?
These figures, they had a wrestling line.
Not the wrestling line.
They mixed wrestlers and the Masters of the Universe together.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember that.
It was kind of cool. I thought about picking them up, but the side that you and I talked about, I don't need this shit anymore, took over and I didn't.
But wasn't there another cartoon series with He-Man? He-Man on Netflix
that had the license? Yeah. Oh, right now, yes. There's a corny. Well, I haven't watched it. I shouldn't call it corny, but it looks corny. There's a redone version that's CGI because the Revelation stuff is animated. There's a CGI style anime-ish Masters of the Universe that retools everything. It reimagines it. That's
yes.
Out. And they also have a toy line out as well that I saw at stores. It's kind of combination of Cartoon Network style, but done in CGI. I don't know. I haven't checked it out yet, so I can't say yay or nay, but just style wise, not my cup of tea. They're trying to get a younger audience. Go ahead with it. Again, I tell with everybody, because a lot of people are like, well, a lot of older people like, the older generation is like, oh, they're fucking up my childhood, blah, blah, blah. Dude, what you love is still there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But they're trying to reach a new audience. You know what I'm saying? So shut the fuck up.
Watch the cartoon again. Tell me that shit. It doesn't make any sense. Like it's like the animated series that I watched a couple episodes in that came out maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Like the first episode explained why Skeletor's face was fucked up. It explained like why Skeletor was a dick. Like, oh yeah, okay. If I had known that, I would have different thoughts about Skeletor. But just because he has a fucked up face, it's like, oh, he must be the bad guy.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm all about this new Revelation series and looking forward to talking to Tiffany Smith.
Okay.
So well, dropping on the channel soon.
You know what I'm looking forward to talk about?
What we talking about, brother?
Ooh, yeah, how cream goes to the top. I'm excited to do a movie review with you.
Yes, we haven't done one in a minute, man.
We're gonna do one that we promised a bunch of them. We're gonna do one that we never even promised.
Right. Yo.
Hey, you know the movie reviews you've been looking for, or probably haven't, but you've heard us. We're gonna talk about a movie. We're just gonna add one and just go straight to the top, put that on top of the list, and let's do that one.
So what are we talking about, brother? Let's talk about
you are asking. You wanted me to to watch the movie Snakehead.
Yes. Because I had the pleasure of speaking with the writer director Evan Jackson Leong. Really cool cat, man. Shout out to Evan Jackson Leong. Follow him at Arowana Films. That's AROWANAFILMS. Arowana Films. I think that's his Instagram and Twitter. Real cool cat, man. But he did Insanity. He didn't. You know what? I should have pulled up his IMDb. But just a real cool brother. And he had this story for a long time. And as we've discussed, Loy and I, we need to be in the financial area. We need to, there's enough writers out there. And so this brother, wasn't able to make it. So wasn't able to get it funded. So he funded it himself and made it happen. So props to my brother for just that persistence and just wanting to tell this story. And he fucking did it. And so now I'm very curious to hear what Loy thinks.
Now that I know all of that, maybe I should just not be.
It's all, bro. Go in. Give me the real, Okay.
Before we get there,
plot. Or okay, go ahead. What do you want to do?
Before we get there, Snakehead.
Okay.
From 2021. It's an hour and 29 minutes long. Thank you very much for just getting it in, getting it out, getting it over with. The synopsis is a Chinese immigrant gets caught up in international crime ring of human smuggling while attempting to make a better life for her family. And I don't think that's a really good synopsis. Thank you, IMDb. I think the movie is a little bit more than that.
Yes.
It does star Song Kang, that you would know from Better Luck Tomorrow, also from the Fast and the Furious saga. And I don't know anybody else that was in here. So there's that.
The biggest star is Sung Kang. But apparently Jade Wu is huge in China, from what I understand, who plays Dai Ma.
She's the older woman.
Fantastic. Yes. But anyway, I won't break that down too much yet. So go ahead, brother.
So I want to say that I'll let you open up. Let me counterpunch a little bit. What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was I was aware of this kind of immigrant story. You know, as Asians, we are aware, you know, that there's some illegal shit that goes down for us to get over, because, you know, again, it's that unspoken thing that we just want a better life for, you know, for our family and aunties, uncles, and all that. And there's different means they go about doing it. And what's sad is there's snakeheads that are aware of this, and they take advantage of us in their assistance to help make the American dream a reality. And so it's the sad state of affairs for immigration in a way. But it's a very important one. And it's stuff that really isn't put on the screen a lot. We see like Americanized versions of different things, but there's this Asian aspect of immigration that, you know, is being illustrated with this.
Yeah, I think it's important to have our stories told, or yes, I think it's important to have our stories told first and foremost. Yeah. But I also think it's important to have different stories told. And I swear to God, this storyline is always one episode in every procedural series, you know, CSI, NCIS, every medical or law or lawyer show has this episode where they go to Chinatown and then they kind of mince over human trafficking from Asia, and then they go about their day.
Yeah.
So to have this fleshed out in a full hour and 30 minutes, I think is a great move. The fact that it was written by an Asian American, and it wasn't just a gun for hire. He didn't just go, hey, can you write something? Like, it's actually his passion project and his name's on it. I think I have a lot of respect for him. I did have a couple issues generally with the movie.
I have some as well, but I think overall, and I'm trying to think what I do have. I think one of the things that always bother me, okay, so as an Asian filmmaker, as an Asian actor, is I hate the typecasting all the time. Why do we always have to be gang? Especially, I've noticed this when early on when I first moved to the DC area, there was a quote unquote other Filipino filmmaker, and he wanted to make films, but he always had to have like he was a martial arts expert, so obviously martial arts were in there, but why does it always have to be gang type shit? Why were we doing stereotypical triad, you know? And then he would make the heroes were like white heroes, like, motherfucker, why can't we? You know what I'm saying? It was just stereotypes after stereotypes that just bothered me. And I was like, bro, at first I was like, cool to work with him, but then that was just what he was all about. I wasn't about that life. So I was like, yo, go do your thing. I'm not going to do that. That's not the kind of films that I want to make that's going to continue on this trend. I want to defy these things that, you know, they continue to put us in. So with this being said, I don't think Evan wanted to tell a story that is from our heritage and that he knows, but he also wanted to create like a gangster epic and kind of have that mix. And I think it works within the context of this stuff, but personally, you know, I don't know if I wanted it, can we get outside of that?
Yeah.
To a degree, you know, so it does, but at the same time, that is us too. You know, we can't not say that isn't us as well, because there is those shady aspects of it. You know, it's just, to me, it's just continuing on with stuff that is already out there that they kind of put us in, that I'd rather see it
Okay.
done in a different fashion. That
I'm gonna go
would be a
with
negative, I would say, for me.
okay. I'm gonna go right off the bat. I I like it. I think it's important. I'm whatever about it, to be honest. I think it's more important, both the behind the cameras, and I think it's more important the behind the camera, the business side of it is more important than the actual movie itself. The movie itself, it looked fine. I think some of the storytelling portions of it was a little wonky. You know, like for example, uh, the for the people who haven't seen it, this woman apparently is trying to leave China. She gets separated from her daughter. Ends up the daughter gets adopted in America. They don't really go into that. Very strange. But also they just mentioned that she went to jail for 8 years, and then when she came out, she went into debt knowing she was going to be a prostitute in America. She just wanted to get to America, so therefore she could find her adopted daughter. That's kind of the crux to the storyline.
Yeah.
So she is a little defiant in the brothel, and she's about to get put out. And she's like, I'm different, I'm stronger. I have a different skill set, and it just seemed to come out of nowhere. Like there was no explanation on the what, the why, the how. Why was she trying to get to America to begin with? I understand why she's in America now, because she's looking for her daughter. I don't understand why she was trying to go to begin with.
I think there was some foreshadowing later on that tells about like her upbringing and everything that explain that to a degree.
She was sold.
But I can see what you're saying in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the story goes that she, as a child, was sold by her mom, who was a prostitute. She was sold. So I guess she was trying to escape, but they don't really make it clear. Like I watched it and it was kind of like up in the air.
Yeah.
But
I think but overall, the story, the line, the characters, I don't know. I was all for it. Like I really enjoyed the film. Like I like Dai Ma's character, the older, but then it was weird how that she then was outright upset with Shuya, with Sister C.
Yep.
Sister C, at the end, like Dai Ma made her right hand girl because she saw the who this Sister C was, that she could rely on Sister C, and Sister C was holding down. But then that flip when with the son and everything like that with Sun King's Rambo's character, then she was automatically just like, okay, fuck her now, like legitimately, like fuck her. That was a weird transition for me. But I think that I was in tune with the characters.
I wasn't,
which you weren't. And could you have saw a question? Lucy Liu was initially planned to be Sister C. What do you think of? What did you think of Shuya Chang playing that, or could you see Lucy Liu playing that?
I didn't have a problem with it.
I think she was good.
Yeah, her performance was fine. I think her general motivations. We understand that her motivation is to get her kid back, right? To get out of debt as fast as possible, so she can try to get her kid back. I don't know how that would work. Like just generally, right? Yeah. I don't know how adopting a kid, a white couple adopts a kid just so she can live in Chinatown in New York. That kind of was like, out of all the places that a kid gets adopted to, it's Chinatown, New York. Again, that's fine. Weird things happen. I think her motivation to be the Daima, to replace Daima, which was kind of what she ended up doing at the end.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. I think there was no indication that was within her motivation set. Also, like, she screwed over Daima and Rambo, basically got them arrested so she could take over, but that doesn't help her original motivation of getting back her kid, or at least they don't explain it. So I didn't get it, really.
I don't think she was trying to become the new Daima, though. She was trying to help that person that needed help, but it failed. And then obviously, like, I don't know, I gotta watch it again, because to me, as I watched it, all the choices seemed plausible, and just the situations that she was put in seemed plausible. Like I would have done that.
I mean, the plausible thing is to literally follow your initial, like, let's make some money, let's get out of debt, let's not be a prostitute, let's go get my kid back. And then she got there. 30 minutes left in the movie. And then she goes, oh, wait, there's more jobs. Okay, let me do those jobs. And then she decided knowingly that she was going behind Daima's back, who put all of the money, like, who was basically like her fairy godmother. She knowingly was like, yeah, let's go behind her back for somebody that she has zero attachment to. Like, just some random in to tell the story. She's Daima's right-hand man. She's doing all of the things that Daima wants her to do. She's becoming prominent within the community, and a worker approaches her, a worker from, a fishery or whatever, approaches her, goes, hey, I'm trying to get my family into the country. I don't trust Daima. Can you help me? And she goes, yeah, we can't tell her because she'll be mad. So we'll just do it on the side. Like,
she has a heart. It tugged at her heartstrings. She's like, let me help. She felt it because she has a child that she can't exactly see. And she made the hard decision to not approach her child because that was like the finale, again, spoilers, the kid has a happy life. I don't want him to fuck it up. So, let her live her life. So
it seemed muddled to me.
Yeah.
And also,
but also gangsters, when you're with criminals, don't make sound decisions.
But that's the thing, though. She wasn't supposed to be a criminal.
Yeah, I got it.
I mean, it's the Hydra scenario. Cut one head off and 3 more show up in its place. And she goes, hey, get rid of Daima. I become Daima. Like, that didn't seem to be in her character trajectory at all.
Yeah.
Again, I was so, I think.
Were you mad at me for making me watch this?
No, but I grew up on the East Coast. I grew up in Boston.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that this is all a fiction and a fantasy. And there's a lot of elements that hit home that I recognized. And I'm not saying like, oh, I'm a badass, I'm a gangster. No, none of that. You grow up in a smaller community and you see things, and as an adult, it starts to make sense. I will say I had a lot of feelings seeing some of the gangsters and kind of some of the operations, and looking back in my life, and you go, oh, that actually is way more familiar than it should be.
Yeah.
I think one of my biggest frustrations generally is that if you ever go to New York, Chinatown is realistically like 3 blocks. Like it's gentrified. There's like 3 blocks, 4 blocks. It's not as big as you would think it is. And they made it look sprawling, right? They made it look like, it's like the Chinatown in DC, where it's barely an intersection. That's how Chinatown has become in New York. And I think the problem is that people think these things are happening in Chinatown, New York, and they're not. They're happening like in Queens, like Flushing. Like you can go, I think it's Roosevelt, 41st, like that area. Like you see that stuff all the time, plain sight. So I think my frustration is like, yeah, you could have done that. You could have done the same, but more realistic. That's always why I feel like there was like somebody's in his ears like, hey, let's do Chinatown. And he's like, no, we could probably do it in Queens. Like, no, it looks way more like Chinatown here. In the gratuitous Chinese New Year scene, there's always a Chinese New Year scene. Why is there always a Chinese New Year scene?
Yeah.
For no reason. It wasn't like, oh, this is nothing. It was just where the kid was walking through Chinatown and it just happened to be a lion dance. And it just, we got an hour and change into the movie without seeing a Chinese New Year scene. And I thought we were free of it until it fucking hit me in the head.
Yeah. Well, what do you think overall as a gangster-ish? I think they're selling it like as a Asian gangster film, right? An American crime saga is written across the top of the poster. What would you say, with all the other gangster crime sagas that we get, I'd say it fits in line with everything and just gives us a kind of a more focused Asian story if that's what we're trying to do with these crime saga type stories. Would you say it fits with all that, but just a little bit more? What do you think on the overall idea of this story being out there?
I mean, with all due respect, I'm trying not to shit on it or come across like I'm shitting on it. I
It's all
think just
good,
as
man.
a
Yeah.
movie critic,
Yeah.
which I mean, I'm just a guy that criticizes movies. The story is important, the perspective is important. You know, just seeing like it requires more than people would think. You know, the immigrants that got captured, the immigrants that died in the back of the truck. You know, showing these things, it's not just overstaying your visa. I think is important because when you think of illegal immigration, you think of like people jumping the border. It's a different story.
Yeah.
But as far as it being a crime saga, I mean, sure. I mean, it felt like it was a movie with crime drama saga elements to it, but it didn't
Yeah.
feel like a crime. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I can't really tell you what
You know
it
what? Thinking about
was.
with that statement that I just made, I think that obviously they're trying to sell it to that in that way because let's be real, white people don't want to see immigrant Asian stories. This is why they didn't fund it in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Zero white people. It well, but zero
For the
white
most
actors
part,
in there.
for the
Yeah.
most part, right? Yeah. So so a way to sell it to white people is say, "Hey, Asian crime story," because at the end of the day, I think what I would say again, I enjoy the film, and then it will start the conversation about illegal immigration. They'll start the conversation about snakeheads in reality, you know. And to me, that's a win-win to because that's real shit that we're dealing with,
It's important.
and it's important. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I enjoyed the film, and I was curious on your perspective, and I appreciate you being honest with your perspective, brother. Whether you liked it or not, it's all love. It's all good.
I think I look at it,
Yeah.
I'm flawed. I'm not gonna lie. Like I can't write a better one. I can only punch holes in the ones that I already see, and I'll wear that hat. I didn't know what I was getting into. Let's go first and foremost, right? And I'm watching things with no trailer information, just a poster board and a name, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I think the movie was fine. And whether you take that as an insult, I do apologize, but the movie was fine. It didn't blow my socks off, but I don't think it was supposed to. Again, I think it's more important as what it has done than what it is.
And to be honest with you, that's why I wanted you to see it, because you didn't have a framework. What I'm getting is true opinion, and that's I think what all of us value. Because most times it's got everything else with most people. When people aren't being real anymore. So I love it. I love that you felt that way, and saying, because this is how we can improve shit too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
for the better, and learning what reaches.
I will say, if you ever watch the show, if you ever seen anything that we do, that I do specifically, I will always point out the weird things that bother me about Asians and movies in general. What I do applaud them is like, hey, they don't speak Chinese, don't speak Chinese. Like only Daima and Sister C were the only ones that spoke Chinese. And one was speaking Cantonese, the other one was predominantly speaking Mandarin. That's fine. It was in bits and pieces. It was like pot shot here or there. That's fine. It didn't bother me so much because I thought it was like well done, and nobody spoke with accents that was unnecessary and unnecessarily horrible accents. They just go, we're all speaking English. Let's just speak English, and I was perfectly fine with that.
Yeah. So cool, man. I feel that. I really wanted that real input. Because again, this is how we make films better and get better. And I was very curious of your perspective, brother.
I was way more curious about her background and why she was sharper than most. What made her stand out among other people thrown in human trafficking? What made her evolve beyond just massage parlor or kitchen chef or whatever it was? I would have liked to seen that. If you were really pushing it as a crime drama, like I would like to have seen her do something in China where she had to leave, and then, or whatever that story is, and why she has the skill set and why she was important. Because they didn't teach her anything.
Yeah,
she goes, "I'm different," and I go, "Okay, sounds believable."
Yeah.
Here's the operation.
No, I feel that, brother. I feel that. No, and I agree. You have very solid points, man. That are issues with it, but
but
overall, my brain went dead when I watched it, and I enjoyed it, man. And I can see certain points where they could be improved and everything like that. I'm not getting paid for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I had my interview with Evan, and he was a cool cat. And you love to see it as Asian filmmakers. Hey, you're working, you're getting work. If they're not giving it to you, you're making it happen. It's a story you wanted to tell, and you did it. I love it.
I love it for that. And I think that has got to show us, everyone, that it's like, it's possible. This is your story. Tell your story. Don't worry about what some talking head pundit on a YouTube channel saying, because, they're gonna be there. Some version of me is gonna be everywhere. People say the same thing about my comedy album, but it's like, no, I did it. I did it myself. All of it is 100% me. And it's important.
Yeah. And most of these people, they don't know half the work that goes into a lot of stuff.
Right.
So
who is the first NBA player to slam dunk? I don't know, but you know how influential he was? Phenomenally.
Yeah.
And I think that with this movie, that is one of those things where it's going to be influential because of what it is and how it came about.
Hell yeah. All right, brother. So that was our Snakehead review. We still have, what are the two other films?
Do you want to go? Do you recommend people see it?
Oh, Snakehead?
Yeah.
Yeah, I recommend it. I enjoyed it. What about you?
I think it's a good watch. Go ahead and watch it. Just enjoy the ride and don't listen to what I have to say.
Would you watch it again if it was on like streaming? If it came up, it was on TV, would you watch it again if it was up? Or would you
probably not?
Okay.
And it's only
because you've already seen it once. If you hadn't seen it before, would you stop and watch it out?
I would say generally I recommend people to go see it because it's a story. It's a something that's going to make you think.
Yeah.
It's going to make you wonder about how you go about your life, the things that you see every day. What does that mean beyond your understanding?
Yeah.
I think it's going to, it's a good story, right? As far as like, we've seen it before. And I think that's one of the things. We've seen the storyline before. It's just we haven't seen it we haven't seen it in our scenario. We haven't seen us do it.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, there's a lot of upside to it. There's a lot of upside. I am not the type of person to watch anything with my brain off. I'm always the guy that's like, oh, let me try to dig deeper. Let me think about it. And that's just where my brain is. So, but I recommend seeing it. I think it's important to see it. I think it's a good watch. And if you're not stuck in my head, you'll enjoy it.
Yo, actually, before I go back to where I was getting at, on our artistic side of things, as a creative filmmaking, what did you think of like shot selection type? Do you ever diagnose films like that? Because I always do that as a filmmaker, artist type thing. I thought there was some creative stuff. I liked how they like kind of went in between certain stuff. The scene where they were beating up one of the Sun Kang's boys.
Yeah.
And they beat him up. There's some artistry. I liked kind of like how they played with the camera a little bit there.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I think that scene, I loved it if it was self-standing, but the fact it didn't really fit into the rest of it.
Kind of was odd in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. In gratuitous, because we saw violence before, but it wasn't like slow motion and different angles. So I'm curious the thought behind that scene generally.
Yeah.
But there were some really cool shots. Like they put a camera on a Lazy Susan.
Oh yeah. When they were sitting around eating, they
so
did do that.
So if you ever go dim sum or eat a Chinese authentic Chinese restaurant and you're sitting at a big top because it's a big party, they'll put a big glass plate that's on rollers. So they put everything on it and then you just spin it to like get the plate that you want. They they really showed that as a cultural thing, where they put the camera on it. So as they're spinning the food, turning the food, you're going from one character to the next.
Yeah.
And there was a line that I thought about you on, where she's like, "This is dinner. Wait, keep it civil. We're eating." And I was like, "Oh, that's a line that I know stuck out for you."
Yeah. There's a lot of film stuff. I think again, for me, yes, I talked to Evan, and no, we're not like best friends or anything, but real cool convo. He just seemed like a very real cat. But like, yeah, I think he has an eye as an artist and filmmaker and as a writer, and he combined a lot of different things with an immigrant story, a gangster story, to some success and to some fail, obviously, as stated. But I think there's a bright future for that brother, and just the drive that this man is trying to do. Give that man work, bro. Like, he's sick.
I will say, we think, so the term masterpiece, right? We think that is like the definitive piece of your career. We think that is like a masterpiece is like, oh, that's the pinnacle. That is the thing. But a masterpiece is actually the piece of work to demonstrate that you are a master. This is your point of entry. And I think this is a masterpiece, being that I am extremely curious about what his next thing is. Give this man a budget. Give this man all of the things to succeed. And I am very curious to what he'll do with it.
Hell yeah. I agree completely. So yeah, Snakehead. I like it. I dig it. Loy, he's seen it, but he would suggest it.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it because I'm a broken individual. I've had too many interactions in Hollywood.
But I don't want to take that as a negative, though, brother. I feel like you're trying to put that out there as a sidebar to your feelings. But no, that's just you. And
I agree. You don't have to agree with me. And then you go, "Hey, Loy, you look too much into it." Yeah, maybe, but I'm fucking broken.
Yo, I love you, Loy.
Where is this movie? Like, where can they find this movie?
Oh, it's streaming everywhere. Digital, on demand, DVD. I think everywhere.
Yeah,
it's already been out for like a week or two.
Perfect.
Say. But yeah,
perfect.
But the films that we had planned, Infernal Affairs is one we will still come back with you for. And then what is the other? Magic Mountain, Crazy Mountain.
You know what? I think I'm just going to take that off of the hook. I still think like I need to see it. It's insane, but probably we won't give it to you until probably the new year. I don't think it's.
You're not gonna finish it out. I want to finish it out.
I'm like a half hour in, and it's just kind of repetitive. And I think it's the 70s. It's about man and God. I'll tell you right off the bat. It's about man and God, whatever God it is that you refer to, the many different gods. And it's like our relationship with them.
Maybe I should push myself and watch it tomorrow. I don't know.
There's no words, at least for the first half hour, 45 minutes, there's no words. It's all imagery. And you grew up, I don't know.
Yeah, I grew up in a Catholic family, conservative family.
So there's a scene.
As most Filipinos are.
Yeah, there's a scene in there that's going to make you feel some emotion one way or another.
Oh, I'm the least Catholic person you'll ever find. Like I'm a very open person.
I don't mean it like because you're Catholic, but because you're a raised Catholic.
Okay.
You'll feel something because the imagery is very strong and it's pretty straight. That's the crazy thing. There's some things that are very straightforward.
Yeah.
Things that are like, oh, there is no denying what you're saying here. And there's some things that leave you uneasy because you know it's something and you just can't figure it out.
Okay. That's why I still need to see this. That's why I still want to put myself through this.
Okay. Okay.
We'll see where we get. We'll check in and we'll see where we get. But
yeah,
I wanted to add another movie though.
Okay. What do you want playing?
Blue Bayou.
Oh yeah, I gotta finish that.
Justin Chon, man. Remember we were supposed to. You started it a little bit, but we had an issue.
I missed the timeline.
But to
which
me,
is very interesting.
Films of the year, bro.
Have you been following the controversy?
Huh?
Have you been following the
Oh, I'm aware of the
controversy?
controversy, man, and maybe we
Thoughts?
can add that or save that for the actual review.
Okay.
But I don't know. I just, despite the controversy, I still really enjoyed that film.
I
Whatever
have.
their intention is with the film.
Yeah, I love Justin Chan. I ran in proximity of him. You know, the people that we know years ago, like 2008 or 2009 or something. So many years ago. And just the first 30, 40 minutes that I saw Blue Bayou, I was very impressed. You know, he wrote it, he directed it, he acted in it. Very, very, very impressed.
Yeah. And I had my interview with him, you know, and he came across very, you know, real, man, with his intention. And yeah, despite what this controversy is and like a lot of stuff that's said, but I also think that's one side of the story. We didn't truly get his side of the story to a degree. There's been elements of what has been said. And even, and to me, he was very genuine in my conversation when we talked about how it came to be. So I have no reason to disbelieve his intent, you know, and how it all came together. But I'm very curious to see for you to fish it out and what your emotional state was from beginning to end, because it required a lot of tissues, bro. It was I think a great film, man. But I'm curious for you to finish it out and maybe just doing a recap on that one as well.
Okay, I'll leave all of my relative and relatable thoughts to when we do the review.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I apologize, but only because I'm 30, 40 minutes in. So I already have like some emotions and some thoughts about it. And you go, let's talk about it now.
And I want to, but let's save it for that. Okay. We need more content. We want more episodes. We need to know.
Right.
We'll save
what else is going on with you?
Man, just again, it's my birthday week. It's weird, but we already said that. I'm ready to just I'm learning to break down exercise self-care, not break down, but like relinquish, not do everything, trust in other folk. And as we stated this conversation before you and I started up, as you know, I'm trusting in others on our team to step up and take over in certain respects instead of being all controlling and, you know, and help and just because we want to elevate what we're doing. This work that we're doing needs to go somewhere. And in order for it to come somewhere, I cannot do it alone. And I now need to entrust in other people so that way we can take it somewhere. And that's what I'm learning. And I need to exercise self-care, and because we've talked, you know, there's been days when we were supposed to shoot. I broke, you know, it was too much. I need to just decompress and not do shit and just go dumb. Because I've been addicted to the chaos, because chaos is where I see more things happen. And so you get addicted to that chaos because you're trying to make things happen. And you stay in that chaos too long, you lose yourself. And so I can't lose myself. I have people that believe in me, people that are with me and supporting. I've got to push back, exercise self-care, believe in my team, and rock and roll. And a rising tide lifts all boats. We can all do this together.
The funny thing about chasing the chaos is that even in the best case scenario, you'll always be in chaos.
Very true, brother. Yeah. That's how we drop the mic on this Kuya and the Kid episode. I love you, brother.
Where can they find
other
you,
people
that
No.
I'm doing this for you. How can people find you, sir?
Man, okay. The legend Kuya P on Twitter, TikTok, and IG. Over at the Nerds of Color, and of course, Show Pal Show. And here with Lloyd Lee at the NRW and at Release Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. How can they find my brother Lloyd Lee, who I love?
Hold on, Wednesday. This is Kuya. This is us right here, Kuya and the Kid, right
there. Hey, there it is.
And you can find me on all your social media websites, Lloyd Lee Comedy, across all of your social media, LOYLEE Comedy. I'm getting better mentally, emotionally. I'm starting to feel like the work actually means something. It may not mean anything to anybody else, but it actually is starting to return to mean something to me. Yes. And self-care. You know, I've been in cycles of self-preservation. And is it inconsistency? Is it all of these things? that have negative connotation, that's what it looks like. But I feel like it's been a whole lot of self-preservation.
There we go. Well, bro, I'm with you. I'm riding with you on this journey. Whatever I can do to help, support. I fucking love you, man. I'll be there for you, bro.
I fucking love you too,
Whatever it is,
bro.
man.
So, ready to get out of here? Let's go
hell
home.
Yeah, let's get home, man. Let's yeah. Well, we're both already home. We're ready to just decompress from the day. I hope you ain't got a lot to worry about, man. But I hope you can just chill out, man, and just enjoy yourself, man. I fucking love you.
Thank
let's
you.
get up out of here, bro.
Bye, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.
Deuces. Blah, blah.